A guilty plea to murder in Leamington and two men sentenced to house arrest for a shooting. It's been a hectic day at Windsor Superior Court, and joining us to spell it all out is our Maluske tonight. Michelle.
Yeah, Stephanie, let's start first with a warning. This first case contains some really upsetting details, and it involves intimate partner violence. It also involves immigration rules in Canada, as both the victim and the accused are from overseas, but here for work. 40-year-old David Espinoza Montez pleaded guilty today to second-degree murder. With the help of a Spanish interpreter, he admitted to stabbing his then-girlfriend, 33-year-old Charmaine Carling, who police publicly identified at the time of her death. Court learned today Carling was stabbed 48 times by Espinoza Montez in the unit they shared at a Leamington rooming house. He was angry, court learned, with a friendship she had with another man. Espinoza Montez, who is from Honduras, did not have a work visa to be in Canada at the time and was facing immigration status hearings. Carling, on the other hand, was here to work and support her family back home in the Philippines. Defense lawyer Patricia Bound told the court today, and the judge agreed, Espinoza Montez's conviction will, quote, trigger immigration consequences. But they didn't make it clear if he will be deported before or after his now mandatory life sentence. Assistant Crown Attorney Jamie L'Esperance says they will provide the judge with a joint submission for the period of parole ineligibility they will be seeking for Espinoza Montez. And then in another courtroom, a sentence was handed down to two young men charged in connection with a bowling alley shooting. On April 9, 2022, someone fired a gun 7 times towards the front door of this busy East End bowling alley. 5 people were shot, but all their injuries were non-life-threatening. Today in Windsor Superior Court, 24-year-old Andrew Maluske and 22-year-old Joshua Fryer were both sentenced to 8 months house arrest. They pleaded guilty in March to possession of a loaded weapon while in a motor vehicle. The brothers were inside the bowling alley together when a minor altercation broke out. They left the establishment and got into Fryer's truck with 2 other passengers. That's when someone fired towards the crowded front entrance. A court-ordered publication ban prevents the media from reporting any details that might identify the person prosecutors allege is the shooter. Maluske and Fryer are expected to be witnesses at upcoming court hearings. They are now on house arrest for 8 months, which will be followed by 18 months probation. Now, the judge gave Maluske a global sentence of 12 months, 11 for Fryer. But when giving them credit for their strict bail conditions over the last 3 years with no breaches and their guilty pleas, Justice Profetto dropped the final sentence down to 8 months each. Their defense lawyer said Fryer and Maluske are relieved with today's decision, but more importantly, relieved no one was seriously injured that day. And just an hour ago, an unexpected turn in the trial of a transport truck driver. 29-year-old Lovepreet Singh from the GTA was facing 2 counts of dangerous driving causing death under the Criminal Code of Canada. On September 23, 2022, 2 people died in this accident. This past week, statements Singh made to police and paramedics explaining how his transport collided with the sedan were excluded by the judge. 3 more weeks were set aside for this trial, with an accident reconstructionist on deck for Tuesday. Then, today, Singh went to the Ontario Court of Justice and pleaded guilty to a lesser offense of careless driving causing death under the Ontario Highway Traffic Act. So all of this means his Superior Court trial is done. Singh now faces a less serious sentencing hearing in June. The punishment is potentially no longer imprisonment, but rather he could get a jail sentence and/or a fine. Stephanie, I've got more details on all of these cases, and as you appropriately said, was a very busy day in Superior Court. You'll find all of that at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
A lot of coverage there, Michelle. Thank you so much for this. Michelle Maluske tonight.
You're welcome.